Hey, welcome back everyone. This is Skeletoasty and I've got 10 more quality of life changes that I would like to see added to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The first thing I'd like to see is some sort of better, viewer for the cosmetics. As it stands, you really can't view your character or their weapon super well. Weapon if they're a family member. You kind of just get this nice idle animation with the front view. I think it'd be nice if we could at least rotate or do something that way we can check out the full cosmetic, see maybe the weapon up close, rotate it. That would be a nice feature to have added. Now it's possible they do add something like this in the future. Maybe we see it in the upcoming museum mode. Hard to say, but that maybe we do see it somewhere down the line. Number 2, and this might be a little controversial, but hear me out. We need some sort of skill-based matchmaking, MMR. Just kidding. No, maybe some sort of type of way to better balance some games. We know with this past weekend, the influx of new players, it was kind of crazy here and there. And I don't entirely hate that, to be honest with you. Overall, though, I do honestly think maybe a better tutorial could be added to the game. As it stands, all we have are these nice, long, sort of dry videos to try and learn from. Personally, they're not great. I have not watched all of them myself, and I don't really intend on watching them. I think that's maybe the number one thing that would be more welcoming to newer players is some sort of better or easier to follow tutorial mode. And it doesn't have to be anything too crazy. Maybe a little something like, I do know Dead by Daylight has theirs. It's not too long. It does give you a pretty good intro. You get a little bonus for doing the tutorial. If they do something like that in the game, that'd be great. Maybe the reward for finishing the tutorial is some in-game currency, which brings us to number 3. In-game currency. Now, right now, there's not really a huge need for this. I do think it would be great if they could somehow add it down the line. Not to bring up the stinky game, but Dead by Daylight does have their in-game currency that is iridescent shards. With that, it's pretty nice. You can buy the original characters with the iridescent shards. You can buy cosmetics. You can buy like perks and blood points, whatever. It goes deep, and I don't necessarily think TCM needs it to that extent. They could even make it, harder, easier, whatever, to earn the shards. But I do think if they, maybe once we get our pulleys on board, once they start pumping out, hopefully more cosmetics, maybe there will be a need for some in-game currency. And I do think that would be a nice addition to the game. I would also love to see some of the characters' ability trees reworked. Connie's the perfect example of this because, for example, if you want this top one here at level 3 for no stamina cost, pretty much no matter what you do, you're gonna lose out on like some sort of ability. So to pick both of these is literally pointless if this is the third one that you want. And the only other way to get to the middle is to either pick up both of these or pick up both of these, which again, you don't need both of them. You want maybe this one and this one and this one, or like this one and this one and this one. Like, it's just, you're kind of screwed no matter what you do, unless you take, if you're taking a corner one, then obviously you can start from this side, middle, there. But like Connie's a good example of this because you can see like it's all the same every single vertical column here. I do like what they did with Virginia and her ability tree. I don't have it level 3 yet, but like with hers, they at least mixed it up some. Whereas here you have the reduced ability cooldown, but then that's also over here. Or here you have the increased contamination duration, and that's also right there. So like with Virginia, it's perfect because you're not confined to like one particular route. Like, it doesn't make sense to have them doubled up. So I think that would be a good change to make for definitely a couple of the characters. Number 5, maybe one of the most highly requested things that I feel like I've seen recently, is changing the whole button mash mechanic, for grapples and such. This will need to go eventually. Dead by Daylight used to have button mashing. They did eventually replace that. I would love to see something like that added to the game. It wouldn't have to be exactly like what DBD did, but you could do something like the way the arm wrestling works in like the Atlas Trials, or maybe even like the Skull Merchant mini game from Dead by Daylight, something like that, where, you know, we don't have to mash our keyboards and our controller buttons, and, you know, I think that would be nice. It's also a little more inclusive to any disabled gamers. Something like that I think would be a nice change. All right, number 6, bring the timer back in the lobby. It doesn't have to be there all the time, but at least give us that 30-second countdown. I don't know if it was supposed to be added with the recent Virginia update, but you know, it would be really nice to see at least a little bit of how much time we have left. That way we're not scrambling to make our build super quick, or at least we have an idea. That way we don't get screwed playing a character or a bad build that we don't want to play. And rolling off that into number 7, please just make the damn game start when 5 people are ready up. And if at 5 people are ready up, I give it a 5-second timer. I don't know, give it a 10-second timer. I thought that was supposed to be a thing. Maybe it is. I swear it doesn't seem like it works all the time. Maybe I'm just crazy or impatient, but you know, when you have 5 of the 7 people readied up, let's get the game started. Let's get the lobby closed. That way more lobbies can start to fill up. It's for the people here. Let's get it done. Number 8, let's give Sissy some love. Maybe do something with her smoke so it makes it stay forever. I saw that in a chat somewhere, kind of like the idea. Let's do some buffs to Sissy. She could definitely use it. You know, maybe you would say Johnny has the weakest ability, but I would say the weakest killer is probably Sissy. She can't really lock anything down. Her smoke, you know, her poison does do a little bit, but you know, for the most part, you can kind of just ignore it here and there. It does sometimes catch victims off guard, but I think she needs a little something that can make her more powerful. So either make the smoke stay forever, or greatly increase the length that it does stay. I know there's a couple things in game that you can obviously do to do that, but I think a base kit nerf would be, or sorry, I think a base kit buff would be great for that. And you know, if you want to get a little angry about this, maybe you have Virginia's boon cancel it or something like that, you know, maybe, and you can even do that the other way around if you want to, you know, buff Sissy that way. Her poison can nerf or eliminate Virginia's boon. I don't know, do something like that. Maybe some smoke interaction would be neat between the 2 characters. Number 9, let's get some queue incentives going. Everyone knows with the recent Virginia release, queue times were abysmal when you were trying to play victim, and I'll be honest, sometimes they were pretty rough as family too. With the whole backfilling issue, you know, you could be a family member sitting in the lobby forever and never find the game because there's that one family member spot that's just not getting filled. And if you don't know, the quick fix for now seems to be to have a victim leave. So if it's a lobby filled with 4 victims and 2 family members, pretty much every single time as soon as a victim leaves, those 2 spots then get filled up within probably 20 seconds. It's pretty consistent. So, you know, I think overall to maybe help with this, if we get some queue incentives, I don't know if that's going to be more XP for your overall, more XP for your perks, however they want to do it. Maybe eventually if there is an in-game currency, you give a bonus to in-game currency. I don't know. DBD has it. I remember back in the original Dead by Daylight days when it was not there, and queue times were rough then. So it's not anything new to the ASIM genre, but you know, some sort of incentive is a great place to start. And last but not least, number 10, let's tone down some in-game animations. I don't know if we want to get rid of them entirely, but maybe make them shorter, make them faster, make it so you can cancel a few. You know, you can do that as a family member with the as Hitchhiker and Cook. There's the Trap Tech for picking up blood and yada yada. There's a couple things you can do to, you know, skip some animations. Really the only one as a victim that I can think of off the top of my head that you can skip the animation is when you open the fuse box and immediately can put in the fuse and do the minigame. Besides that, when you're healing, you gotta wait for that heal bottle to be thrown on the ground. You know, I've died a couple times from that where you think you're healed, but nope, still got that dang bottle. Another example would be when you're recovering from being downed. You know, you see that recovery bar go all the way, but your character's still in the getting up animation. I don't know if they could just sync that up better or do something. Yeah, I don't know if they could like sync it up or do something to make that a little more in line, but you know, I think that would be a great change to make, would make a lot of people happy. And there you have it, 10 more quality of life changes that I would love to see in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. If you agree with any of these, please let me know in the comments. If you have anything else that you think I maybe have missed, please let me know there as well. Again, thank you so much for watching, everyone. I do greatly appreciate it. The support on the last video was absolutely insane, and I wanted to get this one out to you guys as soon as I could. If you want to see more videos like these, please do consider subscribing, liking, and commenting. I greatly appreciate it. And with that, everyone, have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.